week 2, what did you see was an improvement? What did you see that still needs to improve?
Well, probably the thing that you took away from it a little bit, you got to see his scrambling ability, and his ability to use his legs and extend plays, and obviously got a couple of big first downs for us to keep drives alive. I think improvement, Ryan would tell you, just making a couple, a few decisions in a game that he could have made better decisions on, and he knows that, but it all comes along with playing, and that's still his, I think, 4th game to start, so he's growing. With each time he goes out, he's getting better as a player. Then a couple throws, he would like to have back. He's moving a couple times, and on those couple throws with movement, he'd like to have those back. But we were working on this morning, and he was nailing this morning. So,
beyond wins, what are the most important quarterback metrics to you, or the most important offensive metrics that tell you the quarterback's performing and the offense is doing what it's supposed to do?
It's typical things. It's yards per play. It's yards per completion. It's how many, it's completion percentage for a quarterback. It's decision, when we grade his decisions, where he's going with the football and why he's going there, where his eyes are at, that he's seeing the right things. The biggest thing you've got to do as a quarterback is, get your team to convert on 3rd downs and keep drives alive. And so, if a guy's doing that, then we're going to be doing pretty good.
Josh, you mentioned that you have to have the ability to run the ball, the slow, methodical, getting 3 or 4 yards at a time the other day. Is that kind of your idea of how you want this offense to move? Clearly, you'll take the big chunk plays too. So,
well, offense to me is always tailored to the game, kind of how you call it within the game. And it's also tailored to your opponent and what it takes to score points on them and win the game. So all those things fit together, how your defense is playing, how they match up, all those things within every game have some effect on how you call the game. So really, to say that's what I want the offense to look like, I love it when we can do that. Are we going to be able to do that every week? I don't know, I would doubt that we would all the way through the Big Ten season. We'll have to be more balanced than we were, but we were able to do it Saturday night, and we were able to control the game. And we were able to let our offensive line kind of develop an attitude, and our running backs develop an attitude about running the football. And so that's something that will serve us well down the road when we need it.
I don't think I saw Devin get knocked back. This is a guy who was known early in his career as being kind of elusive and avoiding tackles. For him to embrace that physicality, how much better does that make this team where you can get maybe an extra yard or 2 at the point of contact?
Well, in this league, you get down to the goal line, getting short yardage. Those are really, the 4-minute offense, those are really the places, red zone, that, they're probably at most of the time at some point going to have an extra hat on the run, if you're running it. You might catch them rarely where they don't have an extra hat on the run by scheme or whatever it might be, but most people, even if it's a safety fitting from 10, 12 yards deep, there's some really talented safeties out there, and they can meet you, a couple of yards down the field from 10 to 12 yards deep. And so being physical at that point of contact is important, because that's the difference between 2-yard gains and 4 to 5 yard gains, which obviously helps you keep the chains moving.
I know every game is important, but you're playing the team that you were working for last year. Throughout the coaching journey, that happens at times, but is it kind of strange for you at all or anything to be on the other side against that team this week?
Well, I don't know if the word is, maybe it is strange. I don't know. When it comes to this game and playing against someone, and obviously against people that you worked with, that you care about, and players that you coach that you care about, all I hope for in a game like this is that both teams stay healthy, and we get to go out and decide the game, both being the best version of ourselves. And after that, it's a game. It's a football game. We all know that. They're gonna try to beat us. We're gonna try to beat them. That's what it is. And so when it gets to these situations, that's all I hope for.
Josh, is there any advantage having been there during their personnel?
Well, I do know their personnel well. They have some new guys that are playing well up front on the defensive line, on the interior. But, Yeah, is there advantage? Sure, because you do know intimately like what they're capable of, and so you have a feel for the things you need to work on to get ready for each guy as you're heading through the week.
Were you more pleased with the push the offensive line got this last Saturday?
I was more pleased with the push we got. I think we can still be better. I think the O-line would tell you the same, and those are all technical details, and that's where, each week early in the season, you got to keep taking steps. You got to, whatever was not right the week before, you got to make it right that week, and that's how you continue to get better, is to stack good days and good games on top of each other.
I've got 46 carries for Devin Lockaby, which is the most of anybody in the Big Ten.
Mm-hmm.
Is that the type of workload you envision him continuing these last 10 or so games?
Well, I think the workload was a little skewed Saturday. We kind of felt that happening and felt we could control the game that way, and we just kind of went with it. I wouldn't think that it would be that heavy moving forward.
And then just the, I guess Rico Walker started the opener. I don't think he played at all on Saturday. Is there anything with Rico, or what was going on there with the tight ends?
Rico's just continuing to work to get better, and he's got to get better. We're not down on Rico at all. He's just got to go fix some things that he needs to fix so he can get himself back out on the field.
Anything you can tell us about the USC quarterback, Mavea?
He's a really good player. He's really talented. He's big. He's got a really strong arm. Good decision maker. He's elusive for a big guy. He can extend plays and make plays with his feet. So I haven't watched any of their offensive film, but I know they've scored a lot of points the first two games. So I would guess that he's playing pretty well.
How much of an emphasis was put on just getting the tight end position involved on Saturday, and more specifically George Bergman?
Well, we're always, George is back out there, and he's, I'd say he's close to 100%, but not quite there yet. But he's getting better every day, and obviously he did a nice job the other night in the passing game, caught some good passes, and so George can be a weapon for us. So the healthier he gets, the more we'll try to get him involved.
Any other questions for Coach Henson? All right, thanks, Coach.
Thanks, guys.